Hello everyone, my name's Claire Atkins and I'm the Head of People Services at Sintons, which is a law firm in Newcastle. We currently have just under 200 partners and employees at Sintons and have been around for 125 years next year. We've a head office in Newcastle and a satellite office in York. Like many other businesses, we've adapted to change and made changes to the ways that we work as a result of the pandemic. We've identified more efficient ways of working because we've had to, and while that might not always be perfect straight away, it does mean we can work more effectively and productively going forward. While we had a small number of people set up to work remotely prior to lockdown, including one person who, lucky for her, is based in the Cayman Islands, it was still a big change for us, and our IT team did a fantastic job in getting us all ready to be able to work remotely within a couple of weeks. Technology has certainly made the impossible possible for us, and we'll be reviewing our remote working policy going forward. Microsoft Teams has been such a vital tool for us, as it's been for many businesses. We started using Teams about 18 months before lockdown, and there were many times that we considered not using it because of some resistance to change. However, if we hadn't stuck with it, we would have been in a very different position during lockdown, as we've used it for team meetings, client meetings, firm communication, team quizzes, onboarding new people, and generally sharing information, and it's really helped us foster a sense of teamwork. It's meant that people on furlough leave, as well as those working, have been able to keep in touch with the business, and that's been really important. I mentioned teamwork, and at Sintons we have 4 values, and I'm not going to tell you that they're wildly different to any other business, but they are important to us as a firm, and they are teamwork, excellent client service, our people, and professionalism. And while they're all important, teamwork has been critical while we've been going through COVID. And I realised early on when talking to our people on furlough and working remotely that while we were all living this pandemic, we all had different challenges, concerns and priorities. And it was clear that nobody wanted to be in the situation we were in, but everybody realised that they just had to get on with it, but that didn't make it easy. Teamwork has been so important to us as a firm, as with only 2 people in our people services team, we've encouraged line managers and colleagues to support and keep in touch with each other. We've had some fantastic stories where one employee ran 17 miles to drop off Easter eggs on people's doorsteps. Another colleague who lived on their own and couldn't get the pink gin and the chocolate that she likes, so one of her work colleagues went to a different shop and left it on her doorstep for her. I've had bars of chocolate land on my desk and in the post, bottles of wine, and just nice phone calls to say, you're looking after us, but how are you? And that means so much and just backs up the culture that we have at Sintons. From an HR perspective, this has been 6 months of change and an amazing opportunity for our own personal development. As much as I know none of us would want to go through this again, we've had to think differently. We've had to be there for our people no matter what, adapt to changing messages from the government and really challenge our thought processes while remaining resilient and supporting our families and friends too. And we're still smiling. I personally couldn't have done this without the support of Anna and my team, my HR network, friends and colleagues who have been there to just pick their brains, swap ideas, and just to check in to see how each other are. And I'm lucky to have a good network within law firms within and outside of the North East, but also other North East businesses, and I'd really like to take this opportunity to thank them. To have them there to ask for help if needed has been really important. And equally, this is a really good opportunity to thank Michelle and Katie at Michelle Simpson HR, as they've been a great support to their clients too. So finally, I wanted to reflect on my key learns during lockdown. So my first one is the word furlough. Who'd ever heard of that word before COVID-19? And if I was asked which word I would like to forget, I think that would be at the top of my list. My second is that people can adapt to change. And I think as HR professionals, if we really believe in something that will help our businesses, then we need to stick at it and don't give up. The third is leadership. Leadership has been so important, and while we talked about it being essential prior to COVID, it's going to look very different in the future, and our leaders must change as well as leading effectively post-COVID. I've never appreciated the weekends so much when I could relax with a glass of wine, a vodka or a glass of gin. But as a true HR professional, of course, it had to be on a non-school night. And finally, the positive impact of just keeping in touch with our colleagues in the HR community. We aren't through COVID yet, so I'd really encourage everyone to pick up the phone or drop someone an email just to see how they are, because it really does make a difference. So now we need to think about the future. I'm going to leave on that point, but thanks for listening and good luck for the months ahead.